You are listening to the We Hired a Sitter for This podcast.
We hired a sitter for this.
We have a roster of like 7 sitters.
I'm spending $3,000 on paints.
Do you go to therapy?
Never have, nah.
There was a small fire. I put it out.
Real talk, the stakes are too high with my baby.
Comedy, parenting, marriage, life.
We do it all.
I'm a dad and I'm busy.
I have an opinion. I don't know if it'll be right, but
I'm Patrick.
my name is Gastor.
We hired a sitter.
Yo. Check
All right.
1 2. Check 1 2.
It's working. We're on. Hey, everybody.
What's
Welcome
good?
back to We Hired a Sitter for This. How's it going, man?
I'm chilling. How you, bro?
I'm good. We've both probably needed extra support with childcare and family management and life management. It's been a busy couple weeks for
Little bit.
both
We out
of
here.
these guys. Congratulations on a successful taping with Don't Tell.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Had a good time, man. Congrats to you being on the road.
Thanks. Yeah, I was on
Did
the road
you tape,
for...
by the way, officially?
What's that?
Did you officially tape like your hour?
No, I'm taping April 27th, so it is now March 12th.
Okay.
So, hey, if you're listening and you got a show, I need to tighten up some parts of this hour, man.
Show my boy love. He's good.
Yeah, I'm going to do that April 27th, but I was away for 7 days, and it was one day too long. You know that feeling?
I've been there.
We're
I've
like,
been
what
there.
am I doing out here? This was a mistake. Because what happened for me was I had these 3 college shows in Wisconsin on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning.
Yes.
So I was like, let me front load this trip. Let me get some gigs. And I got some work Friday, Saturday outside of Chicago at a club. And I was like, I'll fly Thursday because surely I'll get a gig for Thursday night in Chicago, even if
Right.
it's a guest spot somewhere. I did not book anything, but I had the flight already. So I got to Chicago on Thursday with nothing to do that night. So I did 2 open mics. I'm like, what am I doing open mics in Chicago for? Which felt fun the day of, the night of, it was fun. But
Yeah.
come Wednesday night when I'm finally getting back home and I'm just like, that was one day too long. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have gone on that Thursday. I could have gone Friday morning, done the shows Friday, Saturday, then Wisconsin. So I was tired. I'm still tired. I'm still recovering. I feel like at 43 years old, it takes so long to recover from anything that disrupts the schedule.
It's a beating on the body, man. I don't know why
Yeah.
you do it, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk, man. Why are we doing comedy? in
I
general?
know. Welcome to the episode. This is our retirement episode.
Hey,
We're gonna give a eulogy for each other's careers.
I'm with you on the one day too long thing. I start whenever I'm on the road like a little too long, I start feeling like a bad parent because I start using the Find Your Phone app and I see just how far I am from my kids, to the mile.
Yeah, you could do like to the decimal point.
Yeah, you're like, damn,
I'm
B.
433.6 miles away from the person who's obsessed with me and is asking about me. Like, it's really sad. It was really sad. Actually, the other night she said, she hugged me in bed and she said, "I miss you when you're traveling," in like the most perfect pronunciation. Cause like she's still learning to talk, and she said, "Dad, I really miss you when you're traveling."
Been practicing that in the mirror
oh,
all week, yo.
The heartbreak. She's like, "Let me take this most adorable dagger, put it right in his heart, and just twist it just so that it feels like a hug, but also like a stab in the chest."
That shit is brutal, yo. I be looking at it. I'm like, yo, I'm 1,517 miles away.
Yeah.
And then like, and it makes me feel bad both ways, cause like, I feel bad as a parent.
Yeah.
I hit up my kids to let them know, hey, I'm here, I'm present, even though I can't do anything from over here.
Yeah.
I know that I'm thinking about you. But then it reminds me of how shitty I've been to my parents.
Yes.
You know, and like I'll call up my mom just to like let her know, hey, I'm on the road. This is where I'm at. I don't call nearly enough as much as I should. And like I know you're worried, so this is where I am in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's really nice. You have a conscience, that means.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, like, cause like my mom and my wife regularly make me question if I have enough of a conscience, cause they both, until my grandmother passed away, and my mom called her every day, literally, and if it might have been like a 5-minute check-in, but every day she called her mom.
Yeah.
And my wife's the same way. She's like, like I forgot to call mom today. I'm like, why are you calling your mom today? Like, and like to me, like, listen, I love my kids. I have 2 kids. I love my kids. I hope that the day comes they want to talk to me when they're that old.
Yes.
But my wife is one of 5. My mom is one of 13.
Yeah.
I would hate to have to deal with 13 daily conversations with y'all.
Fielding calls
Yo,
from the whole department.
it's a fucking job. B.
You're hiring a receptionist.
I was like, yo, Ma, how long you talking to grandma for? She's like, half hour every day. I'm like, there's 13 of y'all,
Yeah,
B.
no.
She got to do that with every one of you?
No.
Forever? Nah, B.
That's why dads become the receptionist. They're like, hello?
She's
You want to
good.
talk to your mother? Okay, I think she's around. Pass the phone off. That's hilarious. I never thought of that.
Yeah, like I was like, yo, that's loving, sincerely, but like you're not seeing grandma silent. She got to deal with all of y'all.
No, she needs rest.
Yeah,
It's
man.
too much.
Stop bothering that lady. She's done. Y'all are out the house.
It's sensory overload. She did the hard part. She raised you. She knows you're fine.
But I get it too. Like I understand like being like you'll be on the road and it'll be like, damn, like I have no idea like what to do if my kid needed something right now, you know? So it made me conscious of the fact that like I'm just constantly doing that to my mom.
Yeah.
Like my mom has to pretend that like she's okay with me just being out there. Like I'm older, but she still thinks of all of those things. So yeah, like it I've been doing better with that. Like whenever I leave on the road, this whole year I've done pretty solid. Like I'll call her the day of, hey, just a reminder, I'm going here. I'm gonna be here this many days. If you need me, call me. But and like I use it also as like a way for her to see my kids. Like, hey, you should check in on the kids. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be around.
Yeah.
And like she gets to do mom stuff. So like she'll bring over like a dinner or something like cooked. You know what I mean? And they get to like kick it. Yeah,
that was really nice for us on this last trip. My mother-in-law came down and spent I think like 5 days with them. And, that she just loves being a grandmother and helping out, and we love her for that. Like we need the team support, and it's so helpful when a family member's like, yeah, let me come help out, because that definitely alleviates my guilt around like Ross having to pick up all the loose ends and all the slack, which she does. There was a lot of slack to pick up while I'm not around, but her mother was also there to help too.
Right. Yeah, that's
so
real.
It's like multi-generational moms, and I know that's bringing Ross and her mother closer too, like seeing her mother differently now that she's a mom also. So anyway, maybe I should go away more to build up the mother morale.
I'm doing it for you. You know what I mean?
Yes. But yeah, like it's so, I got a couple Airbnbs and I'm like sleeping in till like 10 in the morning, and you wake up to FaceTime before school, do the early morning FaceTime, go back to sleep. Just feel so like such survivor's guilt of like, I'm like luxuriating in the road.
See, I can't go that far with you. I earned that shit.
Yeah.
I'm right with you, B. Yeah. Like I fully tell my, I'm soaking my feet right now, honey.
Yeah.
In the greatest bubble bath I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I hope that one day you get to experience this too. In the
That's
meantime,
an album cover for you, man. We got to get you in a beautiful bubble bath, in a beautiful hotel suite.
Hell yeah.
Bubbles all around. What are you drinking over there? Can of sparkling ice?
Yeah.
What is that your drink of choice? A couple of cans of those around. Maybe
like
a floral arrangement.
Fun fact, I once auditioned for a Old Spice commercial. So there is video of me like in a shower and in a bathtub with
Terry Crews
with
there?
bubbles. I think this is what him and the other guy they ended up getting. Like it was early in my career, but like him and I forget the other bald guy that also played football that was the main Old Spice guy. But the two of them ended up being this campaign.
Yeah.
But I auditioned for that.
Nice.
And I was like this video with me playing with like rubber duckies in my crib.
Where do we get this footage?
I mean, I don't know if I want it out there, admittedly, but I know it exists. There's some booking agents out there. It'll probably come out if I ever get famous or like if I die tragically. Yeah. They'll like show like me with like a bunch of rubber duckies.
That's the title right there. Gastor Almonte Rubber Ducky. That's not bad. I mean, you got to now retroactively write a bit or something about it that connects to that.
It was cool. I know, like, my boy was like, "Yo, this might be too hood for what they're going for," because like I put like do rags and like bandanas on all the rubber duckies, and I was doing voices for them. Yeah, it focused very little on the Old Spice. Come to think of it, but
this was a self tape.
Yeah, it was a self tape. I was supposed to send in.
With Old Spice, is that a brand of choice in your neck of the woods?
Only because of those commercials.
Because that was for us growing up, like that's what I used. That's what my whole family used. A lot of people I was friendly with used that, and it's interesting to think of how far Old Spice spans culturally.
I'm not anti Old Spice, but I don't think I got into it until high school.
Yeah.
Like I saw a bunch of white boys rocking it. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I felt it got co-signed by Terry Crews and the other dude. They made it cool.
Sorry, I'm getting a text from Ross. I got to text her back. It's not an emergency, but it's, You
good?
It's business. Yeah. Sorry.
Nah, it's all good. But you got a parent throughout the day.
This is.
We can edit this, baby.
This is the multitasking of.
We can edit these, baby, all day. You know what I mean?
I did do an edit on the beginning of last episode that Ross hated.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you thought it was clever or funny, or if you watched it
with the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where we filmed it at the end and you brought it in the beginning.
Yeah. But then I made it like a little gag of it. Viewers, did you watch it? Did you watch last episode? We're doing episode 127 right now. I wrote down 127.
Okay.
Just so I can keep my brain organized.
Hell yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. We were talking about Old Spice. There's a lot of brand loyalty to Old Spice, in other words. And I stopped using deodorant maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but I started again.
Okay. I don't feel like I would have noticed.
Getting any problems from me right now, but there's something about all those chemicals that do kind of freak me out. So now I've been using Native. The Native one?
No.
I don't think it works as good because it's got less chemicals, but
why are you anti chemicals? Are great.
Some stuff, man. They there's like aluminum in there. It's like, what are we doing with aluminum's
awesome
on our skin?
What's wrong with aluminum?
All the zinc.
It's on the microphone. It's on our sandwiches.
Yeah, but we're not.
What aluminum do to you?
We're not taking tiny microphones and then plugging up our sweat glands with them. Like that's what the aluminum is for, is to plug up the holes in your skin.
And it does a great job.
That seems like a problem to me.
I feel like that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Give me more aluminum.
Well,
double down.
I mean, now we are getting back into your sweat journey. I think you're sweat phobic, so I like to let it flow.
Nah, I can't rock with that. You would sell me more on deodorant if you said, yo, extra aluminum. I'm so in.
Double aluminum.
Real talk. Sprinkle it on top like Cool Ranch on Doritos, yo.
So that's where I'm a hypocrite, because at the right time, man, a bag of Doritos with all those chemicals.
Yeah.
Like, after like a perfect lunch sandwich and in between a sandwich and a ice cold Coke in a can. Those are the chemicals I'm down with.
I'm pro chemicals.
I put
chemicals are awesome.
Horrible chemicals go inside my body all the time. I guess the outside the body ones I'm a little scared of.
I feel like if anything that would be backwards, but
I know it is. I'm a hypocrite. I've got problems. I've got addictions to food that are not good for me. I have a hidden sleeve of donuts in here. You know this brand? You know the Lady Linda donuts? Well, these are just frosted mini donuts, they say. The Drake's ones,
is it Hostess
donuts, trash compared to these.
Really?
The chocolate on there tastes like real chocolate. So Lady Linda is where it's at.
Is Lady Linda the one that makes the butter crunch cookies?
I'm not sure. I actually don't know a lot about Lady Linda. Me and her relationship just started. I just discovered that I prefer these ones to the donuts because I was a donut guy forever. But yeah, those kind of trash dessert type foods, I love that shit.
Okay.
That's how I make it through the day sometimes.
Yeah, my daughter. So my daughter's birthday was last month.
Right.
She got sick that day, so we couldn't do her birthday. So we redid it this past weekend.
Oh.
We had her friends come over. They went to Dave and Buster's.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, they spent some money playing.
Atlantic Avenue.
Yeah, like the Gateway one, Gateway Mall.
I don't know where that is. Is that the one right in downtown by Barclays?
No,
Oh, okay.
Wrong one. Gateway Mall, in East New York, where like
okay.
So yeah, like they're in there, they're having a blast. And I'm driving with my family plus 2 other like 14, 15-year-old girls. So like the car is very different energy wise.
So you're getting the scoop too.
Yeah, I'm getting all the
earful.
tea or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? Like it was a whole vibe. But like the thing that bothered me is it was March 9th,
Mhm.
which for me as a Brooklyn dude is Biggie Day.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
So I'm restricted. I can't
Mhm.
fully play Biggie. I got all the kids in the
That's
car.
his birthday or the day
That's
he
the day he
passed?
passed.
Okay.
It became like a Biggie Day because Cannabis says it in one of his songs, and it kind of cemented the date in everybody's memory.
Yeah.
You know, so like, that's Biggie Day for me. So I'm like, all right, already I'm gonna deal with the fact that I can't play
Mhm.
his songs for most of the day because y'all are in the car with me. But fine. Then there's a second thing I like to do on Biggie Day. Couldn't do it because I was so busy with this Dave and Buster's thing. I like to post a picture on my social media of chocolate milk and butter crunch cookies because he says it in a song.
Okay.
And it's like a super niche reference that like you got to be a real Biggie fan to get. It's not like a more overt one where like, you know, like the Coogee sweater or whatever.
It's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut. You got to be a real Biggie fan to get, oh, that's what he's inferring. Biggie Day. A lot of people like I posted up several times. People be like, "Oh, like you were hungry?" Like I don't know.
Taking it back to old school Instagram where it's just pictures of food.
Straight up, you know. So like, so I like doing that. Couldn't do it. But then the third thing, I mentioned like you know that like, hey, it's like Biggie Day. They had no idea who Biggie was.
Oh God.
And then they got mad because they said it's not Biggie Day. It's some anime character day.
Oh yeah,
and
that guy who died.
No. But that's like that's like kind of what brought the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So like, there's an anime character. She's like wearing kind of like a tux outfit with long blue hair.
Okay.
And I'm not even gonna try to say her name. I know I'm gonna get it wrong.
Yeah.
But as soon as I said it was the 9th, one of the girls was like, "Oh my God, it's her day. It's her day." Yeah. And I'm like, nah, it's Biggie Day. She's like, nah, it's her day. I'm like, listen, ma'am, no disrespect, but it's Biggie Day.
I like the idea of calling a 13-year-old ma'am.
Yo,
excuse me, ma'am. Put your walker down.
I was trying to be respectful, but I'm like, listen, yo, you getting out of pocket, okay? It's peak Biggie Day, okay?
Yeah.
We in it right now. It's happening. I'm being respectful, not blasting Biggie in your face. I get it. But don't get out of pocket now. You in a Biggie fan car.
Yeah.
It's in Brooklyn.
You're in the Biggie mobile.
Yo, it can't be more Biggie, okay? But I'm gonna let it slide that you don't rep Biggie. But then don't tell me you repping another person's day on his day. Yo, real talk, you could walk, homie. You know, that's how I get crazy here.
You could anime fly yourself back.
Real
home.
talk. You know what I mean? Your character make any bangers? No classics, okay? But they were adamant. She told me that if she would have known, she would have dressed up like the character. My daughter has also dressed up as that character for a previous Halloween. So like they were like, yeah, we could have all done it. You know what I mean? Now this is madness. Okay. And I let them loose in Dave and Buster. And like they were playing for 3 hours, and it was just 3 hours of me venting to my wife, like, yo, Gabby, like, you believe this nonsense? It's Biggie Day today. Of all days, they bringing up this crap. You know what I mean? I sacrificed for this kid. And she disrespects us, and like, I think that's what really ticked me off. That I know my daughter fucks with Biggie, but she was peer pressure into like rocking with this anime character instead. And I mean, she likes him too, but it's a Biggie Day.
Yeah, in that car ride, she can't say like, yeah, I also like the thing that my dad likes.
Yeah,
the guy up there driving us to this party, I like stuff he likes. She cannot say that in front of them.
I'm way cooler than them kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that about you. They don't know that. They never will. Unfortunately, they will never be your fan.
I get it. I accept it. And then like I drove them all home. I'm driving these kids home, and like I'm getting to the neighborhood where the other kid lives, and like I was like, oh, I do shows here. You know, like literally like a block away from where the kid lives.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do shows here.
Which venue?
I don't want to say because I give away the kids kind of location. So I'm
we
like,
gotta keep the kids safe.
Yeah.
But just know, Gastor performs all over this city.
Yeah, I'm all over the city. But like, I specifically have a show that I do there relatively often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, I do a show around here. So like, my daughter is proud of what I do. But again, I'm a dad. And like, she's seen me do this so long that like it's not like innovative, cool thing. It's just what dad does.
Yeah.
So like the friend was like, "What do you mean show?" and like I was gonna explain, and like I was like, I don't know if I'm like doing this to validate myself to a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
So I was like, I do some show stuff. Like I was like, a part of me was gonna be like, yeah, I do stand-up comedy. I've been on TV.
Yeah.
You heard of me?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
I was like, I got. What's wrong with me right now? I'm really mad about.
when you're trying to get validation from people who don't even know how to spell the word validation.
Yo.
You don't need it.
But like a part of me wanted to do it just to say, listen, this is how cultured I am.
Yeah.
You should trust me about this Biggie thing.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But I was like, I'm gonna let it go. You believe in your anime thing, which I'm sure is dope, to be clear. I don't want to trash anime.
Yeah, yeah. It means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just not on Biggie Day. It's Biggie Day. Okay?
That's like taking the Christ out of Christmas on Christmas. That's hilarious.
You got 364 other days.
Yeah.
Okay? Rock on. And RIP to the Dragon Ball Z dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a big loss from what I understand.
Real talk.
And I'm sorry for your loss on Biggie Day. I hope you were able to find a special time to memorialize it.
Thank you.
Driving alone or something later that day.
Yeah. It actually got me in trouble too, because like Gabby remembered that I bought 2 of the Biggie Metro cards, and I never gave her hers. I was like, I'm holding it in safekeeping for us, but you'll never see this card. This is my card.
So the MTA has a commemorative Biggie MTA Metro card?
I think it was last year they did it. They had like they've done it for a few different hip hop artists, but Biggie's was like, it was selling out crazy.
Yeah,
so like I had to reach out to a comedian who's in the MTA to hook me up, and like it was dope. Like it was like drug dealer like kind of situation. Like
was it Joanna?
Yeah, I met her at like 1 a.m. at a train station.
I love that.
It was so freaking awesome. Like, I honestly think that added to the whole experience. Like, I'm so happy she did this like this.
She's such a special person and so funny. Joanna B. I don't know if we although I think she retired. She retired from the MTA. Thank you for your service, Joanna B.
She's dope. Like, sincerely.
That is a funny thing about comedy and stand-up and like the community of it is like eventually you do end up like having these deeper connections that are bigger than show business. It's just like actually you become neighbors and like community members with your fellows out there in the biz.
We've been through the trenches together. We know, you know. So like, we know what we've been through. So like she's someone that I think is like brilliant, and like no one really talks about her.
Yeah.
And that should change. And she's like, she's doing like work for other people with like her festival. I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Know
a
what
lot
I
of is it the Women in Comedy Festival?
Yeah, like
which
real
is
talk.
coming up this year. I don't know when, but if you just say it's coming up this year,
real talk,
that means
it's true.
It will happen.
Real talk.
If you see the Women in Comedy Festival, go to it because this woman put her job on the line for this man.
Real spit.
So I was gonna say with your kids and her friend, with your daughter and her friends, like, do you think that generation thinks stand up is even cool? Like, or will they ever? Or is stand up actually cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not us.
Yeah. Not us to them.
Yeah, I think there will be stand-ups that are cool for them.
Yeah.
But not us, and I think that's okay.
Like, what you ever catch her watching Matt Rife videos?
Nah. I have not, thankfully.
You're like, not in my house.
Nah, B. Not gonna happen. I'm pretty like low key, like I'm an art asshole at the house. Like I definitely like if she plays some like I was playing a couple of like faster rap songs. You know, so I had like my boy Tone Deaf. Yeah. I had Twista. I had Tech 9.
Twista, yeah. Which you bring up an interesting point. These are lyricists.
Yeah.
They're craftsmen. They're funny. There's a lot of jokes in these lyrics. And rap now is like so weird and very rarely like lyrical.
Yeah.
It's like chanting and repetitive and mumble like that's a genre,
yeah,
right?
It's a genre.
Yeah.
So like I'm playing like people that like are genuinely like, to your point, like literally writing incredible lyrics. They just happen to be doing it fast.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. They're from my era, but I'll show you new kids doing it just as well. JID is someone who I've seen crush songs at a high speed. You know what I mean? So like, it's possible to find people doing the work in a way that is elevating the art form.
Right.
So she sent me some shit, and like I was in my room. she was in her room. She texted it to me, trying to connect with me. Like, hey,
which by the way is beautiful.
I appreciate
I think
it.
that is so cool that she's sharing anything she thinks is cool. I know you're about to shut her down, but I can't wait for that. Like we do. I guess we'll watch like YouTube videos or whatever. And she got really into Lady Gaga somehow. She's not even 4 years old yet, but she like loves certain artists and certain songs, and I love seeing that. And I think that's so cool. Like the idea that one day she's gonna be hopefully like sending me things that she thinks is cool.
Yeah,
but that's beautiful.
You have to.
But so what happens? So she sends you stuff she likes. And
she texts me this song, and like it's the lyric video of the song, and the dude's going fast.
Yeah,
I want to say I was 2 minutes into the song, not a single line rhymed. It was just him saying things fast. Yeah, no rhyming.
Yeah.
So I go to the room. I'm like, listen, he's not meeting the basic requirements of what this craft requires. You know, literally, he's just talking fast. He's not rapping. He got kind of rhythm, but like there's no challenge to what he's doing because there's no restriction.
And when you're listening, you're not like finding a pattern. You can't get the groove of it if there's not rhymes.
Yeah, so I'm like this is not this. So I'm like showing it. I'm like, see, these people, the reason this is dope isn't just because it's being said fast. It's because they're adding the layer of going fast while still writing technically proficient things that rap.
It's almost
it's more complicated. They'll like rap multiple syllables.
Yeah, and you kind of want to go back to the very beginning of a lot of it. You're like, all right, let's talk about Shakespeare.
Straight up. I'm like, yo.
Or Homer. Like, look at what they did.
Yeah. I'm like, they building it. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, real talk. Are you a Shakespeare? When they do Shakespeare in class, do you fuck with that? Do you like the way it sounds? I get it. It's not necessarily for everybody.
Right.
But what they schooling you to is he was doing it on like a specific rhythm.
The structure.
I'm like, you know how gangster that is to tell stories
with multiple characters and
still stick to that structure the whole time. Yeah. It's a 2-hour play, my G. And like he stuck to that joint.
And he invented multiple words.
Yeah.
Like, that we use to this day because of this thing that he created. And so for this new guy to just
not do any of this
rap
stuff
with just saying a bunch of stuff, it's almost disrespectful.
Yo, I was heated. I was like, don't ever, like, yo, real talk, don't play this nonsense in my house again.
And with that said, because I could see if she had the argument that was like, well, he's breaking the rules and that's part of what's cool.
Right.
You can then point her toward like Ghostface Killer or like people who do purposely
show me how
in their own way that then becomes cool.
Right. And then like it starts to get personal. I'm like, so you think this is what I do? I'm out here just talking? Yo, you think I'm just out here just saying whatever the hell I want to say? No, there is structure, pattern, effort put in. You know what I mean?
Well, rap is like, you know, the technical like needs of it, and you can see it when you hear it, you know it, and you respect it because it's like, that is a complicated thing I just listened to, yet it was nice to, like, I liked listening to it, it made me feel a certain way, whatever. Stand-up is interesting because when it's done really, really well, it is so invisible, and the technicality of it, it doesn't even register because the person knows how to do it in a way that is, I mean, I guess there's some people who are technicians, and that's what people like Jeselnik or Mitch Hedberg or whatever, like people are attracted
Mike
to
Kaplan.
that. Yeah. But then there's the conversational people who make it feel so effortless, but that's what makes it amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, that's part of the challenge. I'm making it effortless, but on purpose. Yeah, and it's the same feeling every time. You know how hard it is to like emotionally make the room connect at the same moments every time, 300 times a year. Yeah, like that takes practice. I'm doing a thing up there. Yeah, I'm like, so, and then like she's like into painting. I'm like, you're like I'm gonna go draw something right now, and I promise you, if I try to like get more stage time than you, more canvases, more exhibitions than you'd be tight. Yeah, and you should be. You know what I mean? Because I don't have the craft that you do, and you'd be able to point out all the bullshit that is mine. Right. Don't accept this for any art. You know what I mean? Right. Real talk. That's why I take you to nice restaurants.
Who was the rapper? Do you remember?
I never want to know again. Real talk. I hope that dude disappears in life. Yeah. Real talk. The audacity of you to affect my kid with that bullshit. to make a lyric video. Like people should memorize the trash you did.
So now I'm curious about like what opened her up to even being interested. Like, is it like he's cute? Like he's a good-looking guy, and it's like, oh well, this is my favorite rapper now, and that's not a judgment of your kid, but that's how these industries work. You know, like what does make people latch on to anybody, and is it like did the algorithm just keep pushing this person on her? Because like it is a beautiful experience when you hear something for the first time that blows your mind as a teenager, and you're like, I want to know everything about this band or this rapper or this artist, and I'm gonna. Like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
Or person. Like, that's such a powerful experience. And, yeah, I hope she finds something that you approve of.
Yo, I started giving her other examples. So, like, one of my go-tos that, like, both her and my son like, J Live, the MC.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah.
What I mean? It's a great song. And then
spins,
he does. He DJs, he produces, he raps. But, like, on that song in particular, on the second verse, for the first like 14 bars, every other word starts with either M or C.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the last like 2 bars is him going with like all R words for rap.
Yeah.
And like he gets further and further more complex with the M and C words he's using to prove that like, yo, I'm a master at my craft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then there's like more musical songs.
I haven't thought of J Live in forever. Now I have the what was his like anthem where he's spinning? He's spinning 2 records. It's the same sample repeatedly, but he's rapping over top of it. Oh my god. Anyway, you got me thinking about him. I'll have to.
He's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that like have songs of like that like level of like craftsmanship that like you could point to.
What was the Black Alicious ABC's one? Alphabet.
The Alphabet Soup?
No, it's like alphabetic.
No, I'm
Olympics
thinking of
or aerobic alphabetic aerobics or something like that. Man, these are all songs I loved when I was in my early 20s, and now I'm like, man, I gotta refresh my brain.
Real talk, you know. But like they mold you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They show you what's possible in art
and creativity in general.
Yeah, like this is a thing the human mind can make this.
Yeah.
You know, and like I feel like it pushes us forward, and I don't want her getting pushed forward by trash.
Right.
Because then you're gonna make trash.
Yes.
You know, and like that's my leg. I don't want my kid making bullshit. You know?
Ross and I run into this thing sometimes where if we think something's really good and we want to share it with the other person, Ross is more guilty of this than me. I can detach, but she will take it very personally if you don't like a thing the same way she likes it, or you don't see what's so profound about the thing that she thinks is so profound.
Yeah.
Do you ever attach personal feelings to these things?
For sure. I'm more so I get personal feelings when you like something terrible than I do, because I can understand the thing that you connect with is different.
Yeah.
But like Roots, Gabby, love of my life, B. Like sincerely, that's my ride or die. But like every time she fucking plays Big Bang Theory, like I question everything about life.
Yes.
Like I am blown away that like she's been to like legitimately like maybe 8 of my comedy shows in 11 years.
Yeah.
She kind of finds me funny.
Right.
And I watch her laugh her ass off at that bullshit.
Well,
every week.
I mean it's a show about science, but what I was going to say is they have worked it out to a science. The math of these sitcom jokes and the rhythm that we were talking about, it's like candy. People love that. It's so predictable. It's so like pleasing. It's so light.
And like it pisses me off because there's I'm like, yo, I'm like I try to bring her, I'm like, what do you like about this show?
Yeah.
She's like it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's not enough info. Like she's like, it's relaxing.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to think a lot. I'm like, okay, so like you're telling me that the good about the show is that it's not good.
Yes.
You know, like that's wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, and on top of that, a show during the exact same era of TV and life took place that was in the same world of like nerds that was substantially better with Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Watch that.
Right.
Same type of characters, much better written.
Yeah, a little more dark.
Yeah.
A little more in real characters. Like the characters on Big Bang Theory or any sitcom, it's just like these are not real people. Like if I met a person like this in real life, I would hate them.
Yeah. And she's like, well, like you like silly I'm like, and there's silly shows that I think do funny better. You know, like Parks and Recs, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like those are silly. They're not art pieces.
Yeah.
But they're genuinely trying to make jokes and make as many of them and as high quality as they can.
Yeah.
That's not the goal in Big Bang Theory. They're just trying to make the same episode over and over again.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still hire me. Real talk. Everybody from that show.
Yeah. CBS, ABC family programming. We are on board. We'll take that work.
Real talk. But
my in-laws love that show. And questionable taste levels there.
I don't even stay in the house when she watches this. I was like, I got it. Like, what is you gonna watch this for real?
Yeah.
I'll be downstairs.
Ross has taken on a guilty pleasure that she will admit to. She is deep in the Real Housewives universe.
Okay.
'Cause the news, it's so hard to watch the news. Like her basic rationale is like, I need something to check out with. And that's hard for me to. I'm like, all right, I can have some fun watching this. Like we can make fun of these people a little bit, but like past one episode, I'm like, this is just making me too sad, or like too annoyed, or like, man, like these people are so unlikable and so irredeemable that I don't know where we can go from here. You know,
I can't do it, but
it feels like cutting or something.
I could like watch and make fun of.
Yeah,
I can't connect with them.
yeah.
Like I have a show that I watch like that. What is it? Selling Sunset.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The
real estate.
Yeah,
family.
the two twins that own the firm, and it's like,
are they like Armenian or something? Or no?
I don't know. Two short bald dudes. They own like a real estate firm in L.A. and it's centered around the all the like failed actresses that work for them as real estate salespeople. And they're like selling houses in L.A. to like celebrities. It's on Netflix.
Well, because you're shopping for a West
right.
Coast
I'm looking
house.
at it real talk, and like that's what got me in the first episode. I was like, oh, these houses look fire.
Yeah.
But then I met all the women involved, and I'm like, this is hysterical.
Yeah.
This is straight up funny.
Yeah.
And I know some of them don't intend it to be, but it's straight up funny TV. A. B. Pisses you off because they're like not even trying their hardest, and they'll like sell a house. And like they'll show you the commission, and you're like questioning life. Like,
yes,
you know what I mean? They made 250 racks selling a crib that like she did everything wrong.
Yeah.
In the process of selling.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go do a show for $20 later.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
totally.
but the houses look incredible. They'll bump into celebrities and sell their houses, and you get to see the weird quirks of what those people deem necessities in their home.
Yeah.
You know, so I get you, Ross, is what I'm saying. I watch a bad show too.
Yeah, everybody needs a little trash.
Yeah.
Speaking of houses, do you ever Airbnb on the road?
No, I only Airbnb when I'm with the fam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sort of opposite because I'm cheap. If I'm alone out there, I want to save money, especially with the college gigs. It's like I want to spend as little as possible on the travel so that I can keep more of the money.
That's fair.
And so I'll just Airbnb like a room in a person's house. So I stayed in two random houses. Both were fine, but like had different things that were odd about them. The first house I was staying in outside of Chicago in the suburbs. This guy had this massive house. Like this place was so like the living room could have contained my entire apartment. And then he's like Airbnb I think 3 little rooms to different travelers. And yeah, this guy, very strange decor. Something was off in the air. Like there was like an odor thing that maybe it wasn't bad. Maybe it was just like a lot of cooking going on. Random traveler down the hall from me. But the thing that kind of freaked me out was there was a constant power sawing going on in the basement. Like he was doing renovations and there was plastic over the entry that went down to the basement. And I'm like, am I in a serial killer's home? And am I going to be the next one dismembered before I leave? Like, does anybody know where I am? And like, is Airbnb like you start questioning? I think because also it's the kind of house where you code in,
right?
You get the key from the thing, and you never see anybody. I never saw anybody for like 2 days, but I heard him working a lot. I'm like, I think this might be it for me.
Hey,
I'm just gonna be cut up and disposed of in the middle of nowhere in Illinois.
Yeah, like you're asking questions through the Airbnb app, and he's asking like odd stuff back. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, so like, what's the checkout time? He's like, how tall are you? Yeah, we'll get to all that later. You know.
Yeah. Well, this is actually, I could have led with this to make this a little more interesting. So I didn't meet him. I went out that Thursday night, did open mics in town in Chicago, and then I got home after midnight. And I told him on the app, I said, I'm really quiet, but I do stay out late sometimes. And the next day, or whenever I did finally meet him, he said, oh yeah, I noticed on the camera that you came home at 12:10 in the morning. So I figured you must have been out late. I was like, oh yeah, and it was on the Ring camera outside the house. There's not a camera in the room, but like, I think we talked about that recently. Like, I don't want anybody like commenting directly on my comings and goings. Like, just pretend like you don't know anything about me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like that.
That's super weird.
I don't want to be my tabs being kept on.
You're his TV show, bro.
Yeah, I'm his
you,
Real
you're
Housewife.
his entertainment, yo. I can't do it, bro. I don't know. On the road, I want to know that like everything is a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's part of like stuff like that. Like, I don't want to deal with that and then have to go on stage. Like,
Yeah.
that means the whole day I'm tense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel comfortable like just lounging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When like this dude's like possibly sawing people downstairs. That's just weird. Yeah, nah, I can't. Like with the fam, I might do it just because like I could rent out the whole house.
Yeah.
And like it's like our space, and you know, like I like getting my family experiences in other communities. Like,
Yeah.
but man, nah, solo, nah,
Yeah.
I'm doing a hotel all day. And it's just little things that come up. They're like, when I'm like doing road work, I want to be bougie about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I need a towel, and just like have somebody send that in. Like I don't like Airbnbs when I'm by myself, because like too many Airbnb hosts think like we building a friendship, and like I don't want to do all that. Be like, yo,
well, that came up. I had to get the Wi-Fi password. He took me in the basement where I saw he was just doing renovations. He was building a full-on like bar and lounge in his basement.
That's
like,
dope.
I mean, this place was massive. And we get the Wi-Fi password, and I'm like, all right. And I made it very clear. I was like, I was actually putting up our podcast, so I needed to upload the file, and I was like, yeah, I just got to get back to work. I was hoping to get that Wi-Fi password. Ends up like talking my ear off for like 30 minutes, like the kind of thing where I'm like backing away, like I'm like trying to get back to my room, and he won't stop talking. And I'm like, oh, this guy, these are his friends. His travelers are his friends.
Yeah, that's how he meets people.
I made the mistake of saying I was a comic, and he told me about other. He had an improv team from St. Louis come through once. All kinds of stories.
You're one of the stories now. He's gonna tell you like, yeah, my good friend Patrick.
Yes. Yeah.
That's legitimate. Yo, I won't say the person's name, but there's a guy that he thinks we're friends.
Does this come up a lot for you, by the way?
Yeah, but this is the worst of them. Like,
okay.
He thinks we're friends. We've met. We've known each other for like 15 years. I don't like the dude at all. Like what
community is he from? Is he from the neighborhood or like the road?
He lives in New York. He is into the arts.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be.
You got to keep it vague.
Yeah, I got to keep it vague enough.
Anybody.
Real talk. I don't want to upset. By the same token, if you hear this and decide I should stop bothering Gastor, happy you heard it. I ain't gonna like tell you because that's mean, but like if you figure it out, maybe like leave me the fuck alone. There's like. This is making my skin crawl with like recognition. By the way, like I've been through this, bro. It's like they're supportive in the weirdest ways because they don't have enough social circles. Well, they want something back. Yeah, is the problem. And like, dude, it's just so weird. Like, they've had a few moments where they are able to help.
Yeah.
And I've had to like legitimately be like, do I need this?
Right. Yes.
Enough to deal with this interaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't pick up social cues when I'm like, yo, I need space.
Yeah.
Other people have witnessed it. So I know I'm not alone in it. So much so that person's name has become a verb for bothering people in my crew name.
Yes.
Like, so my crew knows a dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, yo, you being real like right now. You know what I mean? So like,
stop joshing me,
real
bro.
talk.
Don't
like,
be joshing
yo,
me.
get off me right now, B. Like, it's just like, and that's been the slang for like legit 10 years. And like, every time I think I have like weird, like, I have weird trauma memories, you know, like one of them is like he was trying to tell me of a thing he could do that would be helpful for me as a comic. I had already experienced enough of him to know that while he could possibly do that, he might be exaggerating because I feel like he thinks the other comics are friends and those comics probably feel like me.
You're right.
So I'm like, I don't need him out there telling people that me and him is boys, and then they start thinking of me like that.
Right.
And while he's telling me this, we're like at a bar. I can't avoid him. I'm at a show. I got to put up the flyers. So like, it's not like I'm linking up with homie. It's
that's a problem. These people know where to find you.
Yeah, every
they
night.
know your
like,
schedule.
Yeah, like I have to do my job. I got to promote the show.
Yeah.
So like he'll show up and like he was too close telling me all this, and like he this is how close he was because it skeeved me out. While he's telling me that whatever he's telling me, his arm hair rubbed my arm hair, and I felt my arm hair like flick.
Yeah, yeah.
And like every time I think of
that's
him,
your subconscious.
Yo, like I feel it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm in danger, but like I don't feel comfortable.
That's your inner Neanderthal caveman. Like that's a warning,
dude.
That's powerful.
It felt so off, yo.
That's
I was like,
all the information you need.
Yeah, I was like, I can't. I like nah. So like nah, I'm gonna clip this. But yeah, like that dude. And then like what really ticks me off is that every now and then I see this dude like 10 times a year.
Yeah.
Like he pops up at shows.
Yeah.
I feel weird about it's not quite like a crime, so I'm not gonna like call cops on him.
Right.
He's not doing anything. He's being an overly enthusiastic fan.
Yes.
I would say, right? And he thinks we're friends because of how often he's seen me at shows, and I'm a professional. I'm like, yeah, what's up? How you doing? Yo, thank you. And I do genuinely appreciate someone coming out to support. Just don't be weird. You know what I mean? But like he's weird so much. You know? And like, but what pissed me off, I've had this dude be weird to me consistently for like 10 years. The 2 times he wasn't weird is when he came with his girlfriend. And like, but he had been weird for so many times that like, nah, I'm weird in response. Right. And like, I'm sure to his girlfriend, she's like, yo, Gastor's weird. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not weird, I'm scared. You know, like
your boyfriend set me up.
Yeah, right. So he's been doing this to me for a decade. Of course I'm off right now. I don't know how to react. I don't know if you're safe. You know, I'm worried about you right now, and I'm trying to send you eye signals to let me know, do you need help? You know? And both times, like, I'm like, damn, I know she got the wrong impression of me. Yeah. And like, I feel like most people be like, yeah, G's pretty chill. Gastor's pretty relaxed. Nah.
Yeah.
Both times she was there, I know I was weird. If she ever figures it out, I'm sorry. But like, since I was trying to convey to you, yo, he weird, right? Like, are you okay? Do you need help?
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do that. And that dude, to this day, still thinks we homies.
Well, what's nice is that you now have your wedding speech prepared for when they tie the knot. You could just say, checking in for one last time, miss. Are you okay? Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Yeah, those personality types are tough, man. It's so tough. Because boundaries, you know, like we blur boundaries because we're up there telling everybody everything about our inner thoughts and lives and vulnerabilities. And they're like, well, I love that guy. He's my best friend. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, I don't
we
even
not.
know you.
And I'll say this one thing, which I hope doesn't give it away enough that like they're offended, but I also want to say to clarify, because like I do have enthusiastic fans. I rock with y'all, like sincerely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna say this only because I want the fans that are enthusiastic to know that I'm not talking about them.
Right.
This is how far this got. His partner reached out to me and my friends and invited us to his birthday party because she thought that's how close we were.
Right.
So like, just to get like, that means that he's out there saying,
yeah,
I hung out with Gastor the other day.
Yeah.
And that is just not true.
Yeah.
Like you saw me at a show, sure.
Yeah.
But like that told me how crazy the stories he was telling.
Yeah.
That like his partner was convinced, if I'm throwing him a surprise birthday
Gastor's
party,
gotta be there.
Gastor's gotta be there. Like, of course.
Gastor's his best friend.
Yeah, like he's in all the stories. I know I've never been with this person in a single moment that wasn't like comedy adjacent,
like a public event.
Yeah, it's like this is, I have to be here. I cannot avoid being around you.
Yeah, it's like if we've never been alone together in a car, on a car ride together, or like on the phone one-on-one, like we're probably not friends.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So yeah,
I met another fan of yours in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh shit.
A fan adjacent. So what it was, this guy ADL hosts a great open mic at Jackson's Pabst Blue Ribbon Bar or whatever. So I was doing open mics in Milwaukee at night.
Oh, respect.
Because I was doing day gigs at the schools. So I was like, let me just get some stage time. Anyway, I met this guy ADL, host of this open mic, and I was like, there's 20 people on this list. I gotta work some kind of magic here. I gotta like try to get, because I had to get up early to go upstate to some other school the next morning. So I was like, hey, I'm a comic coming through town. I was hoping I could get up a little earlier. I was like 20th on the list, and I mean, I don't want to. Should I tell this whole story? Anyway, so Sunday night, I meet some random guy, Wildcard Will. Shout out to Wildcard Will. He sees me on an open mic where it's just three of us. This is not the mic I was just talking about.
Yeah.
There's three people in a back bar room, and I'm like, what am I doing here? But the guy was like, yeah, let's all just do 10 minutes. We'll get out of here. And this guy was there, and he watched my whole set, and I assume this guy's going to go up. This guy does not go up. He's a white-haired man. He's got a long white beard. He may not have even been a real person. He might have been an apparition. But anyway, we end up chatting. Turns out he's a huge comedy fan.
Huh.
He knows everybody in New York. I mentioned New York. He's asking me about all these comics.
Hell yeah.
And we become buddies. I did not do well because it was 10 minutes, three of us. We're just talking to each other, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is fine because I'm working out some longer stuff. And then the next night, on Monday night, I do this mic, and he's there, and he sees me do really well, and so he becomes amazed by me. And then Tuesday night, he goes ahead of me to this place where I meet this guy ADL, and unbeknownst to me, he's essentially my agent. He tells the host, "There's this guy Patrick who's gonna come tonight. You got to get him up early. He's a pro from New York. Hook him up. Blah blah blah." So anyway, by the time I get there, I see I'm 20th on the list. I'm talking to this guy, ADL. I'm like, hey, I don't know if I can possibly go any earlier. And he goes, oh, actually, your boy told me about you.
Oh, yeah.
I checked out your stuff. Yeah, you can go whenever you want. And he hooked it up. Anyway, I mentioned you. Oh, because this guy, ADL, said, I'm from Brooklyn. When he opened the show, he said, I grew up in Brooklyn. I was like,
rock on.
So we end up chatting, and I was like, where in Brooklyn? He says, East New York. And I said, that's interesting. My podcast partner's from East New York. And I mentioned your name, and he was like, oh, I know him. My brother loves him. So his brother loves you. ADL's not a fan yet, but I think ADL will become a fan of yours as he investigates your work further.
ADL, you still the homie. Real
but
talk.
The Gastor Almonte name travels far to the Midwest.
Gang, out here. Milwaukee, coming soon, baby.
So that was a whole long story about me.
I love these names. What was it? Wildcard Will?
Wildcard Will, man. This guy, he is such a sweet guy. He's been hanging around open mics, he said, for like 25 years.
Yo.
He's gone up only like 3 times. He was a college booker. He worked with bands. He knows about the NACA circuit and all that stuff. And we're talking comedy, and I'm like, dude, you just got to go up. Like, because I see him writing jokes as people are on stage. I'm like, you just got to go up. And he's like, I'm still writing my 5-minute set. And I'm like, that's not. I understand where you're at because I was there
Yeah.
once too. But you got to just go up
Let's
and
go do it.
just see what happens. But
you know, related to this, I don't know who was the open mic host that told you we'll all do 10 minutes, and it was 3 of y'all.
Andy, that was Andy.
Yo, Andy
from the rounding third mic.
Shouts to Andy. Real talk, y'all working out material. From my perspective, as a comic, I want you to know that when I see under 5 people, I want to do the least amount of time possible, yo.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell, like, I don't know what gives people the illusion of, like, let's just do a quick 10. 10
more, yeah.
10 minutes is insane to 3 people.
That's a hostage situation.
Real talk, yo. You want me to 30 minutes? We gonna do 2 to 2 people?
Yeah.
Nah, B, that's wild work, homie. When I see 3 people, I'm like, yo, we gonna do 3 minutes total.
Yeah.
Between us, like 1 minute each. That's including introducing the next comic. Like, that is insanity.
Yeah.
Yo, I've never understood that. They're like, oh, there's only 10 people. We could just do 10. No.
Yeah.
If there's under 10 minutes for any mic that has under 10 people.
And no civilians there.
No
like,
civilians
no
there.
audience.
Yeah, you can't. Like, we don't deserve that. Like, that hurts your soul, B.
Yeah,
like,
just take me out back and shoot me.
Yeah.
If we're gonna have to do.
Let's just talk. We could just, nobody knows.
Yeah.
No one knows you're there.
We can all, you know what we can do? We can actually all go up to the mic, take a couple pictures, put it on Instagram.
Yo,
say that we were grinding for our careers tonight.
That's it. And just sit down and talk through the bits.
Yeah.
Why we got to torture ourselves to do that?
Yeah.
This job is hard enough. We don't need moments like that. No.
Yeah.
And like, I promise, everybody's like, nah, you each set count. No. That set did not make you better. That set hurt your body. It hurt your heart. It hurt your soul. It hurt everything that is you.
Yeah.
You went home and like, your brain now has one more set of proof that nobody wants to see you. You don't want that in your psychology. Nah, B. Don't let that happen, B. You like, you know, like how like basketball players, when they missing shots, they start shooting layups during timeouts. They just want to see the ball go in. You seeing the ball not go in. That's what you doing. You giving mental proof that no one wants to see you. Don't do that set. Just sit down, because what you do have is a full conversation.
And we can go to the locker room. We can call it a night.
Straight up. 3 people talking, great convo.
Yeah.
3 people total for a mic? Nah, B, you don't deserve that, B.
Yeah,
it's not going to make you better.
Yeah, I wonder if there is a productive way to use that group of people. Like, could you sit in a circle and just bounce bits?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Workshop the bit. Like, yo, what do you think about this? Like, every time I'm working on a bit, it's always I'm presenting an argument.
Yeah.
So I want 2 people to present counter arguments.
Yeah.
That gives me real information I could use in a joke, comic to comic, and I'm not embarrassing myself developing this skill that doesn't matter. There are times when you got to perform in front of 5, 10 people. I get it. But realistically, if you are to make it in comedy, that is never going to come up again.
Yeah.
Bill Burr is not performing for 3 people ever again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so if your goal is to perform in front of groups of people, why are you practicing performing in front of not groups?
Yeah. Well,
that is mad. Those are couples at best.
This host did share with me that he's essentially retired. Like he does this mic once a week. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
There's other things to do.
You also have you texted me something that I don't know if it was private. I'll just say it, and then if it's private, we can edit it out. But you said I'm not saying yes to gigs that don't bring me joy. Is that what you said? Or you're like being more discerning about the things you say yes to? Because I texted you at 10 in the morning with a picture of the lunchroom I was about to perform in.
Wouldn't have seen me there.
Yeah. So
Real
this
talk.
was the 3 schools I performed at. It was during their. The program is called Lunch and Learn, because the show I do at schools is a comedy show, but it's also about my past with addiction and recovery, and I tell my stories so that it's an alcohol awareness presentation for college students.
That's dope.
And and I'm somewhat proud of it. It's still like this work in progress, and sometimes I'm like, is this even worth doing? What am I doing? Why am I doing this show? But then I have a week like this where I'm like. And by the way, it was Wednesday was my 10-year anniversary of starting this.
gang.
Oh, thanks, man.
Boom.
This journey for the 3rd time in my life. And it felt like some kind of symbolic ceremonial ringing in of a milestone like that, where I did, some club work and then 3 schools and then a bunch of open mics, and I was away from home for 7 days, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But there were moments where I'm like, I'm about to go up. It's literally 11:30 in the morning in a lunchroom. Students are actively at a lunch buffet getting food while I'm. If I was doing straight stand up, this would be a cakewalk because I could crowd work, I could talk about what's going on. But I'm like, I have a script.
Yeah.
And it was tough. It was tough. I mean, I'm literally on stage talking about like some of the most painful parts of my life while somebody's getting like chicken parmesan out of the metal thing with the sterno heaters underneath.
In the most well-lit room ever.
Oh my God. No, yeah. Open windows everywhere. Full fluorescent lighting. Pam, the lunch lady, is doing her job. Very sweet lady. Everybody knows Pam. The good thing is they did get students to come, and they did that because it's a free lunch event. Like, you get to have free lunch if you come watch this aging comedian tell his story. But yeah, it's an interesting thing of like, what are the the exchange is financial. It's like, I will say yes to this thing because I will take this money. But yeah, at an open mic where there's 3 people, what are we actually get out of it? What is the exchange? It's like, I'll give my time. Hopefully I'll memorize this set, or I'll work on this story or whatever. But is it actually productive?
Yeah.
Who
That's why I prefer to talk it out. Like, I'm not saying don't use the time. I'm not saying like don't work towards being a better comic. I'm just saying right at this moment, what's the best way for us to use the fact that only 3 of us are here?
Yeah.
I'd rather like workshop an idea with 2 other dope comics sitting down, because getting better at performing for 2 people is not my long-term goal.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. So like, and then like, to the other thing, like, I'm if doing a show, I know before I do the show is gonna feel bad, I'm not signing up for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a professional. If I show up and things happen, I'll do the show. Like, I'm not saying like, I'm running away or whatever. But if I know going in, you're telling me the facts. Hey, you want to do this show where like we're gonna pay you okay, maybe, but like after the show, you're gonna question whether or not you want to keep doing art.
Yes,
that's wild to say yes to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and over again, I see comics do that, and then they're like, "Yeah, I don't know, like, why am I doing this?" Of course, you don't know, because you've been torturing yourself.
Yeah,
like I get you first 5 years, I get it. You got to say yes to stuff because you just need to practice. But man, what am I doing that for?
Yeah.
No, I need to go home. I got family that loves me, kids that love me, that like, not only do they not need to see me fail, they don't need to see me feel like that in front of them. Like, I need them to know that like pursuing your dreams doesn't need to be unhealthy. Right. Like that, it just is what it is. And like, I don't want to have to need a pick me up every time I come home. Like, oh, dad had a shit, get the Henny and apple juice out. You know what I mean? Like, it was a rough day. Make the pancakes.
Totally.
You know?
And that is such a perfect way to describe it, of like, if your emotional state depends on how the gig goes, those are high stakes.
Yeah.
So it's good to learn what to say no to.
Yeah, B, I clipped them. Like, nah, B, I'm good, homie. Like, and again, I'm not, and to be clear, I know I'm blessed. Like, I'm getting enough shows now where I could do that. Yeah. Like, to be, like, I get that. I understand that. Like, I know that my money's going to work out that month. That's not where everybody is. Yeah. But the second you get there, bro, like, there's shows that like I don't care what the money is. I can't put myself through that and know that like for the whole next month I might not want to write. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's just wild. Like, why are we doing this to ourselves, B? I'm gonna come on like, yo, P, man, I don't know, B. Why we do, you know, like, like this is a whole different vibe, man. I can't put myself through that no more, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, do you want to come to my Sunday morning bowling alley show where people will be actively bowling, but we set up the stage just to the side of the pins, so you got to time your punchline so no balls are crashing at that moment. But it's a really fun show, and it's good. There's no money, but you'll get exposure.
And that's a real show. Yeah. Like, yeah. I get so many spots like that. Like, people just say, yo, you want to come? Nah, I'm good. Yeah. Real talk. I don't know if I'm sorry, but like, this is one of the times I've been on TV. Yeah. 9 times. Yeah. I'm not doing that shitty show. It just is what it is. Yeah. Hit me up. I appreciate that, like, you enjoy my art. You think that that'd be a value add to your show. Thank you. I'm not doing that shit. Yeah. That shit is
But here, while I have you, here's Patrick Holbert's phone number. he'll say yes to anything.
He'll gladly take this gig.
Yeah.
B. I'm not doing it, homie.
Speaking of gigs we've said yes to and that we're actually excited about, Hurleyville, New York,
Gang,
April 20th. You got to come out. We're going to put on a show at the Hurleyville Performing Arts Center. I think that's what it's called. It's the HPAC. Meg DeWitt booked us. I think it's Megan DeWitt. I believe that's her name. We're going to put on a great show. We're going to co-headline. Are you down to co-headline again?
Hell yeah, let's do it up. Yeah, we had a blast last time,
We had a good time up in Hyde Park, New York.
You just heard me rant. Real talk about shows I won't do. Like, I'm telling you, I asked Patrick for mad pictures of the place. So y'all didn't see what I'm getting into.
Yes.
This got the approval. We here. We good. We going to have a great time. It's going to be fire. We going to bring up, we might have fireworks. We might not, 90% not likely.
I think we could. I think up there we could get some illegal fireworks. We'll get some pyrotechnics. Definitely have some lighting. We'll both do a long set. We'll get on stage together at the end, make some magic happen. We should probably bring a host or get somebody to host for us.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
It'll be a good time. That's April 20th, probably whatever nighttime showtime is.
Oh, I just read that's the weed day.
Yeah. Do you smoke?
I don't.
Have you ever?
I have not. I do an edible every now and then, but I can't do the smoke thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I've talked about this before. It's like messing with the instrument.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want my voice to change.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I smoked here and there, but I smoked the way I drank too fast and too much, and every single time I was like, I'm time traveling. I don't even know where I am.
Nah.
And all I want to do when I was drunk is talk, and I could not talk if I got too high. So, but if you guys want to have a smoke or an edible in the parking lot, I don't think it's legal indoors. Please do. It's gonna be a good time. 420.
I'm with it. We'll have a good time. You can share with me after the show.
Yes. Yeah. Because I guess I'm driving again.
Oh yeah. If I'm doing those for sure.
The car passed inspection.
Yo,
by the way,
gang.
Can you believe it?
Who'd you pay off for that? Yo?
I cannot believe it. The check engine light went off because basically, if the gas is at a certain level, the check engine light is not on. And this was while I was away, I said, Ross, if that check engine light is not on, bring it to the mechanic, Luis, and get him to pass it, and he did. It just passed.
Oh, shout out to Luis with the funny stickers.
I cannot believe it.
Yo, you could not have had more lights on that dashboard, yo.
I assume he just didn't notice the cracks in the windshield. I don't even know if that's like a deal breaker for inspection.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Real talk. I showed that shit to my dad. He's like, why do you have this friend? But he's a good guy. He's not gonna make it. I'm like, nah, he's cool.
Leo, if you can find a replacement windshield, I'm looking. I'm just not buying new. I want a second-hand Craigslist windshield for my car.
That specific car.
Yes.
Oh my God.
2010 Kia Sorento.
Oh my God.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.